millennials are having the hardest time ever. Imagine buying a house and all of a sudden, in a little while, you're gonna have to sell it and move back with your parents because you just can't do it anymore. You are tapped out, you are done, you are drowning in debt, your good paying job has been canceled, you are now out of a job, and all of a sudden you're saying, hey, I can't do it no more, I gotta sell. And this is more of a reality than a lot of people realize. And I'm gonna have a video shown here in a little second of actually a woman saying that she can't do it in her 30s, that she's moving back with her parents. And this is just detrimental for the United States because she got sold a dream and that dream turned into a literal nightmare. And this is just what a lot of people face. And I'm gonna ask you, how many millennials do you think are facing this? I looked online and I found statistics all over, from 57% to 75% to 1 in 3 are moving back, and everything in between, that they can't afford their lifestyle. They're moving in with their parents. So let's watch this video from her and we will then talk about it.
I am selling my house and I'm getting ready to move back with my parents yet again. I am single. I do have a 9-to-5 job where it does not pay me nearly enough to cover the bills. And I've had this house for about 3 years now, and I am just exhausted. I am drowning, barely surviving, not being able to make repairs because the house is now falling apart, and I have no money in my savings to fix it. I have been saving for the past 3 years. All I've been doing is working and going straight home. I don't go out. I don't spend money on like coffee or anything. I try to save as much money as possible so I could get some money to make repairs for this house to make it nice and comfortable and livable. But I am at my wit's end now, and I'm just tired. I honestly want to leave my job, my 9-to-5 job that's not paying me well enough to even cover the bills. I'm exhausted. I want to leave, but then I'm stuck with this house, and I just don't want any of it anymore. So I'm selling it. I don't know what my plans are going to be after I sell my house and maybe leave this 9-to-5 job that I'm at. But we're just going to figure it out. So I'm going to sell my house and go back to living with my parents, unfortunately. And living with my parents is not going to be easy because it is very mentally draining. Financially, yeah, I'll be able to save some money, but it is mentally draining because living with some Spanish parents that treat you like you're 15 yet again, even though you are a grown-ass adult, is just as bad.
Okay, so you heard her talk, and she's not even making enough money to cover her bills. And when I say that the unemployment rate is way higher, and I say, hey, the actual unemployment is so much higher than the 4%, would you consider her unemployed? Because when I'm looking at it, and she's not even making enough money to pay her bills, probably has a degree, probably a pretty good one too, and she's just not making enough. And she has a job, but she's probably job searching. She probably got that as a bridge to her, for her career. She's like, I got to do something. And so now she's one of these people that are underemployed, not making enough, selling her house, and actually gonna have to move back with her parents. Reality for a lot of people. And so let's look at some of these comments from the video. Move back in with your parents after buying a home has to be the biggest humbling experience. And when you have the freedom, the flexibility of doing all that, but you're just grinding, and can't keep up with the bills because of inflation, grocery prices, everything else, it's just all coming down hard on you. And it is a humbling experience. And a lot of people need that salary to survive. They do not have the capabilities of going out, of making more money, of making more sales, of doing all these things that are required to actually bring in a paycheck without relying on anybody, with sales, marketing, operations, and everything else. So let's look at some of these other comments. Rent it, don't sell it if you can. And people say, rent won't even cover the expenses. And expensive HOAs. Here we go, another comment. I just spent $2,000 on a kitchen drain. and that got really clogged. Prices are crazy. It's so rough nowadays. Homeownership isn't for everyone because it's so expensive. Good luck. Can you get roommates? Response, here we go. Respect that you were able to buy though. No shame in moving back in this economy. So as you're seeing, people are like cheering her on and saying, hey, you can do this. Don't worry, times will get better. But it's a humbling experience because if this person bought a house probably 3 years ago, the market was hot, over asking price. And now let's watch another creator of how he's making money. And I've watched him for years now, and he knows what he's talking about real estate. So let's watch just a little bit, this clip about real estate, how he's gonna make money.
How are you finding good deals right now?
I'm lowballing, baby.
How much
I'm
do
lowballing the at everything.
How do you lowball them without offending the seller?
There's no offending in business.
Wouldn't they just say,
It's
this guy's not serious.
personal.
This
It's
guy's
fucking
not
business.
serious. This is
Listen, one lady was emotional.
So this was Ben Mala, multi-million-dollar guy, has like $500 million in real estate portfolio. And I watch his content because he's saying that, hey, you go out there and you do it. And you just go out there with an agent and start writing offers. And this guy said, lowball. So now this person, this lovely woman, was buying a house when the market was hot, had to over asking price. And now somebody like Ben Mala says, hey, maybe I'm gonna buy her house. What is he gonna do? He's gonna lowball baby. You heard it. So now all of a sudden, either hopefully your house appreciated so much that a lowball offer is still more than what you've paid for it. And depending on the market, because they're still rising markets, it's like super community based. You can be in one community that has so many more companies moving in. North Carolina, somebody said that companies and houses are still so tough to find because there's so many people moving in. Then it's gonna be an easy sell. But if this person lives in an area that everybody else is selling, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. And then people like Ben Mala come in and lowball, lowball, lowball means less money for you. And it is just gonna be tragic. It's gonna put the nail in the coffin and for you because, hey, you're not in a spot where you can take less money or you get a short sell and it's just gonna hurt. So hopefully her house has appreciated a lot where she can say, hey, I'm still gonna take my proceeds, my down payment and everything else. But if she bought it for 500 or 400 and she's gonna list it right in between there, or they're gonna ask for, hey, I bought it for 450 and now I'm selling it for 520 and nobody's biting, and then you decrease it to 490, 480, 470 with closing costs. All of a sudden your down payment that you've spent so much money, or your parents gifted you the money and you were so blessed at the time, is now becoming a literal nightmare. And that she's not making enough is reality for a lot of Americans. It's not the exception, it's most likely the norm. And when I hear people saying, oh, my area is hiring like crazy, we got all these job openings, I'm not so sure about all of that. I'm not so sure that, hey, even in the nursing field, that, hey, we can't find nurses. You probably can. It's just that either the pay's not great, or that the benefits not right, or that the cost of living is so high that you're gonna have trouble finding talent because it will offset the cost of living and those high paychecks. Because in this economy, people are willing to move in a heartbeat. I've talked to people and they said, if I get a good enough offer, I'm out. I'm there the next day. I'm gonna fly out. I'm gonna do everything that I can to make it happen. And when people say, my area is hiring, prove it. Post it down below. Tell the industry, post a company, or post a website or something, or say, hey, I'm in North Charlotte, North Carolina, and Raytheon or whatever, or whoever is hiring like crazy, or submarine welders are hiring like crazy. Come over here. It is just crazy that they're giving buku bucks to people. Haven't heard any of that. They're just people in the comment section say, oh, we're hiring. There's jobs everywhere. So prove it. Put your money where your mouth is and put it in the comment section so that people that watch this video can do it. I'll even pin it, but I don't think that is something that that is real. I think people need to keep the persona, the image up, and they say, oh, we're hiring. They have interviews, they ghost you afterwards, they say, oh, we decided to go in a different route. And then down the road, they list the same job again. So yeah, that's just not how it's going when all these people are trying to find these high-paying jobs. It's just brutal. And if they are high-paying jobs, I assume they'll work you to the bone. I think they'll work you night shift, day shift, they'll work you 60, 75 hours, so you have no time to enjoy life. But this creator that I shared with you about the real estate market, this is reality for a bunch of millennials. And so if you're in your 40s and 50s and looking at this, and you're like, you know what, I'm renting, and I got comments saying, hey, I rent by choice. Man, you sure did it. I hope you sold during a hot market and you sold it to somebody like her that said, hey, I'm gonna get top of the market. And then once the prices come really, really down, you might be like, you know what, I might wanna buy again. I might wanna consider it. Or you say, you know what, renting is so relaxed. For me, I don't need to worry about maintenance. I don't need to worry about nothing. I just use the equipment. And if it's not right, I'm done. I don't have to worry about nothing. I just live in it. I enjoy my life. I go fishing. If the air conditioner breaks, I'll call up the landlord and I tell him, fix it. And once I come back, the house is back cooled again. So there's a bunch of stuff like that. And people don't understand that, hey, owning a house is like running a business. You got to make sure that, hey, you're not getting dukes on air conditioner replacement. You're not going to get that a garbage disposal like this other one's $2,000. And you got to be somewhat handy so you can save time, money, and your sanity. Because if they're going to start charging you thousands of dollars to do small little items, it's going to be brutal. And you're going to work so much longer, and it's going to cost you so much more to hold the house that you're going to sell it in 15 years. And yeah, it might go up $100,000, but how much money have you spent keeping it up? How much of your time and money has been lost in you not negotiating and you not finding the right deals to keep the house in a good condition? Because this is what a realtor told me the other day. They said, when you're living in a house and there's small stuff that's broken, like the light switch not working, but hey, there's another light switch, and you don't want to pay an electrician to come out for $200 to do the outlet, what you're going to do is you're just going to use the other light switch. And now you want to sell, and the new buyer does not want to deal with that. And so you got to fix it. Those little ninks and kinks that you are able to deal with because you own it and you just didn't want to fix it, if you want to rent your house out, your renter does not want to deal with that. The next buyer does not want to deal with that. So you got to get it fixed. And guess who's going to pay for it? You. So it is just the reality of real estate investing, the reality of being a landlord, the reality of you getting into something that you didn't know what you get into. And I got this other comment that was just like, oh my gosh, yesterday, and I just want to pull my hair out when people say, when I say on YouTube, you got to be aware of what you get into. Don't invest in stuff that you know nothing about. And people are like, that is the stupidest advice. It's like, if you don't know what you're investing in, then you are going to be doomed. They will take your money. And I'm not talking about stocks or bonds or anything like that. What I'm talking about is if you invest into companies, you invest into startups, you invest into real estate funds, or you invest with your buddy or anything else. If you're going to do that and you don't know what you're getting yourself into, and you just hand him your hard-earned money and you're like, you know what, this is what we're going to do, and you have no control over it, you're going to lose your money. And if you want to be in charge, and if you want to be on top of it, you got to make sure that, hey, I'm going to do it my way and nobody else's way. And I'm going to make sure that I do it the way that I can stand behind it. And not just, oh, I'm going to take $50,000 from Paul, and then Paul is going to give that to me. And now 2 years down the road, all the money's gone. I'm sorry, the company closed out and you're done. You could have used that $50,000 to buy stock, mutual funds, non-risk investment, but they probably promised you, oh, in 5 years, I'm going to give you 30% of your money, or 25 or 15%. It's all nonsense. If they can do these types of returns, they'd be in the news. They'd be talking to colleges saying, how can you do this consistently? And yeah, so take your money and invest into something you know. I mean, make sure that, hey, when I invested, I am the only one to blame for it if it goes south. And this was it for my Sunday walk in Las Vegas. Don't be that lady. Make sure you know what you get into. And yeah, this was it. And if you haven't, please, you know it, click that like and subscribe button because so many people are not subscribed. Make sure you hit that bell notification also so when I upload, we can have conversations because the first hour when you upload, I'm on the computer responding to comments. So please, if you have a comment, leave it at the beginning so we can have conversations. And if you know an area that is hiring like crazy, post a location and everything below with the job field, and I'll find it on Indeed and I will share it so people can look into it. And thank you for watching this video for 16 and a half minutes. And I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.